Good morning, everyone. Today we are performing the practical on analyzing the data using the geoprocessing tools. So first we will load our layer. So our layer is a vector layer. So add layer vector. I'll be adding the layers. So the data I have already shared with you. You just need to load those layers. So it is So I've given this data. We will just add in admin and stations and open it. Add. Okay. Now we will add one more. I'll just put it down so that I can see all the stations. The stations to record various parameters of the atmosphere. Now go again, there is one more CSV file, we need to add it. So go to add layer and go to add delimited text layer. So now I have to add the file name. So in that table there is a layer with the name CSV layer with the rainfall. Just open it, the rain. So it's a CSV file. Uh, then what type of geometry? So say no geometry and then add and close. So we have first opened our data required for doing this experiment. Now let's see what is there in the stations win attribute table. So in stations attribute table, it is only the name of the stations, that is the meteorological stations. There are 549. And if I go to the rains and open attribute table, I have the districts, that 549 names, and along with the rainfall data from January 9001 to November to December, and an average rainfall. So the first task that we will perform is we will join the tables. So how do we do it is, again go to the stations, right click, go to the open attribute table, uh, and just note down the name, the identifier that we are having in the stations. It's district. Okay, now we'll close it. Right click, go to the properties. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to add the data in the rainfall to the data in the station. So what I'll do is I'll go to the joins, plus sign. Then what are the layer I want to join? I want to join rainfall data. And which field I want to join of rainfall data? District. Target field is also district. And in the station, all this will be taking place in the stations attribute table. And join fields, you can select everything except district from January to December and the average rainfall. So this will add all these fields into the table of stations. I'll just untick yeah, I will untick admin before I perform this, so that the table should not get added to admin, or if I do this, both will get added. So rainfall data, and I can press OK. So it will join the layer rainbow, and you can apply and press OK. Now I can go and check the attribute table of station. Just see the change. I only had district initially, now have the whole rainfall data till the average getting added up. So this is called as joining the tables with the common attribute. The attribute was district, and as per that we have joined the two tables. Now let's do one more thing. So this is actually a station, and now when I click on admin, so admin is actually the administrative boundary of India. Now I want to add the data of the station to the administrative. So for that, let us first check what is there in the attribute table of admin. So already there is some identification number, India, some names, and some data regarding variable literacy and other things. So what we want to do is we want to add this station and the admin table. So for that we will go to the vector, go to data management tools, and join attributes by location. Why we have to use location? Because we don't have a common attribute in that. We have already seen there were district and the rainfall data in station, and no such field is visible in the admin data. So what I will do is I will just click on join by attribute. So base layer is my admin, joining layer, uh, base layer is admin, the joining layer will be stations. Now I want it within, whatever comes within, not the intersection. I want within, and uh, we can say open output file after running the algorithm. Just run it and close it. Now this is a joint layer. Let's see what is there in the joint layer, and let's see in the attribute table. So can you see the joint layer now has not only the data of all the admin layer. Basically the admin layer has the data of what it was already there along with all the rainfall data. So this is how we have combined the attribute table of stations and the admin. Now for the next part of our geo vector analysis, that is the geoprocessing. We have already seen the buffer, we used it in the last time. Now we want to perform clip, difference, dissolve, and other operations on our data. For that, first we will go and select a particular data and bring it to this window so that we can perform these operations on it. For that, let's go to the Google window. In this, you can write Google Earth Pro. Okay. Now here you can go to this Google Earth window. So it will give you the Google Earth Pro on desktop. You can go here and you can download the Google Earth Pro on your desktop. So once you download it, you can open it on your desktop. So I'll just download it. It will ask you for the other accept and download. So just click on it and download it. Now what we will do is I'll just open it on my desktop. Now when I have opened my Google Pro on my desk, that is installed on my desktop, this is the window that opens. Now what is our task is, let's find out the boundary of Maharashtra and few places in Maharashtra. To find out the few places in Maharashtra, let me start naming them. Say Pune. So as soon as I press Pune and search, the Google map automatically finds it and shows me the exact location of Pune. So I can pin this and name it Pune, and I can even change the symbology that we want to use it for Pune or places. So I'll press it OK. OK. So this Pune is created. So it is created in my places. What I'll do is I will add one folder with the name places in Maharashtra. Okay. And this folder, and I'll put Pune inside places in Maharashtra. Yeah. So this is how I'm now placed. Now I'll find out few more places like Satara, Maharashtra, and search it. So Google Earth will search Satara for me and give me the location of Satara. So I'll just again put Satara, and I'll use the same pin for Satara. Now let's find out Latur. Again, we will pin this location and name it and press OK. Like this, we can have more places in my places. Now I have made Latur, Mumbai, Nashik, Dhule all in my places. Now what I'll do is I'll just using this minus sign, I'll just zoom out and till I am able to see the boundary of Maharashtra. So all my points are plugged, are already visible, and this is the Maharashtra boundary. So what I'll do is I'll just now what I'll do is I will just mark this boundary of Maharashtra using this polygon icon and name it as boundary. Okay. Now what I'll do is instead of placing boundary in places in Maharashtra, I'll again create one more folder in temporary places with the name boundary, and now I'll move this boundary to the boundary folder so that I have two folders, one of the places which consist of points and one is boundary which consists of a polygon. So I will start making the boundary. So you can see this pointer. So it's very smooth. You can just trace the boundary very slowly. So the more near you are to the boundary, the more exact polygon or the location of your Maharashtra will be mm, visible for you. So I'm just trying to keep it as near to the boundary as possible. So it will just take few seconds for us to completely trace the boundary of Maharashtra. So as you can see, we are almost done, and this boundary contains all the locations which I have identified while making the points. So I finish it and I name it as Maharashtra and press OK. So this boundary folder which I had already named, I'll just delete it because that is not having any data. So now what I have done is I have done few things. I have identified the places of Maharashtra and made the boundary of Maharashtra. Now I'll save it. Save both my places in Maharashtra and my save uh, save places as. So what do I want to do? I will save it on my desktop as it is saved as KMZ and KML. KMZ is a zip file, so we'll save it as KML on our desktop. And again, I will save boundary also on the desktop. Save places as, and again it's a KML. I'll just save it. So it's already existing. So I'll just name it as boundary 1 and save. So we are done with the work to be done on Google Maps or Google Earth to actually it helps us to identify and get a closer look at the places with an exact location. So we will now again go back to our QGIS. Now in this QGIS window again I will add the layers which we have made and saved it on our desktop under add vector. Go to the desktop and wherever you have saved with places in Maharashtra and boundary. One are the QGIS files, KML extension, and I just open it and add it. So I have places in Maharashtra. I again need to add boundary 1. Okay. So I have added this boundary with the name Maharashtra. As you can see, it's already in the same thing and therefore it was not visible. So this is the file, the boundary 1 only, renamed with Maharashtra. And now we can perform certain operations. So again, what I'll do is I will rearrange it so that all our these places, yeah, places in Maharashtra boundary, and places in Maharashtra is visible. Now let's perform the geoprocessing operations. So go to the geoprocessing. So first thing is I want to clip. I want to clip the places in Maharashtra. So what is it? From where? It is in the admin layer. This Maharashtra is there. Overlay. What do I want to remove is Maharashtra KLM. So open the file after running the algorithm is ticked. So I just untick all others and keep clipped. So this much is clipped, that was equivalent to Maharashtra and it is kept. So that is what it is. Now what we will do is again we will perform some more operation. The second in geoprocessing is the difference. So we have admin. From that, which layer I want to have a difference is again Maharashtra, and I will just run it, close it. Now the difference file is created. The rest others we can untick, and you can see that much boundary which we have created is subtracted from it, and the remaining of the admin is as it is. So that's in the difference file. Now we can again perform more operations, that is dissolve. So we want to dissolve what? We want to dissolve the boundaries in admin. So right now you can see the boundary of each state. So I'll just dissolve and run it. So we can clearly see a dissolved boundary with no boundary of our various states visible in admin. So I'll just close it. So can you see the whole map of India is there within that dissolve, and we can just remove this difference. So this is what it is without any. So this is what is dissolved. When we say dissolve, it is actually dissolving all the boundaries, and we are able to um, see the full boundary. Now the other tools that we will do is intersection. Again with the we can say that let's take stations, okay, and then we will take overlays places in Maharashtra. So we want to know the intersection between the places of Maharashtra and the stations. So I will just run this and close it. So I'll remove, and we find there is no intersection actually there. Or let's repeat it with admin and the places Maharashtra. Yeah. So this is what is an intersection. As you can see, previously there was no place actually point. So it is a polygon, the intersection which we could find out. Now again, what else we can do is union. So if I say I have to have a union of intersection and let's say places in Maharashtra and stations. So now what you will see is I'll just remove. So I can just take stations and also the places in Maharashtra. Just untick it. So these blue dots, I'll just zoom in. These blue dots are the places in Maharashtra which were not coming, which we have made, and were not coming as a part of intersection when we did this intersection tool. Now when I had a union, so they get added and the points get combined, and this is what we get as a union. Union is nothing but an addition operation. So this analysis tool we did last time, nearest neighbor, the distance matrix, and today we did the data management tools. So this is what we have to do in this practical. So thank you.